Once you have decided on the topic of your writing project, you need to decide on the format. So the very first thing you need to do for that is know what genre that you're going to be writing in. So you're going to need this paper right here. This is going to help you plan your writing project. And what we're doing with this video is answering this first question. What is the genre of your paper? So it can be nonfiction, personal narrative, a story from your life, or fiction, a made-up story. So we're going to look at all of the options that you have for each of these. So if you are writing a nonfiction paper, project, whatever, you can make it look like any of these awesome nonfiction texts that we have here. So you can have all of these text features. You can include pictures and illustrations, diagrams, headers. You can make a nice layout like this. Very similarly here, we have some photographs, some text with some captions and everything. And both of these things are describing something to the reader. You can make it like this here, maybe some illustrations. This one shows you how to make a graphic novel. So this is like a how-to. So that's what something that your paper can be as well. If you don't want to include a whole bunch of text features, that's fine. Because you can just make a simple essay that maybe has just one picture with a little tiny caption, maybe a couple of headings along the way. So if you're doing nonfiction, this is what it could look like. It can have lots of features, minimal features, and if you wanted to do no features, that's just fine too. Okay, so that was nonfiction. Now, if you are going to write a personal narrative, a story from your life, you have a couple options for that as well. So this book is called The House on Mango Street. It's a story made up of memoirs, and notice, not a lot of text features, only titles here and there. So this is a title of a narrative. It's about a page, 2 pages long, so that can be your memoir. If you want to do more than one memoir, maybe on a similar topic, that could be a cool choice as well. So notice how some of these are short, some of these are longer. You can make like a collection of memoirs. You could also do, like in the style of these types of books where there are some illustrations within, so you can write like a little story, maybe draw a picture of yourself in that situation, other strange characters with little bubbles, talking bubbles is a better word for that. This is also a similar one where there's some illustrations throughout, little graphic novels. Okay, so those are your options for personal narrative and also for fiction. Speaking of fiction, you can make a picture book. So here's a text that we all know, Wolves in the Walls. If you are an artist, then you can include like really big pictures to go along with your story. You can bind it all together to make your own picture book for the story that you write. You can also make a graphic novel. Now this is a graphic novel that is actually a nonfiction story, but as you and I know, you can make a graphic novel about fiction very easily. So, think about what you want your paper to be. What do you want it to look like? This is your project about your topic. How do you want to convey that information to your reader? Think about this, about what you're writing about. If you're like writing, you're describing something to your reader, then you definitely want to choose nonfiction. If you're writing about something from your life, you want to choose personal narrative. If you're writing a story, a made-up story, then you want to choose fiction. So personally, I'm writing about music, and so I'm not going to write about it from my life, and I'm not making up a story. I'm going to describe something to my reader. So I'm choosing nonfiction. I'm going to make sure to circle nonfiction on my paper